Well, very good afternoon to all our dear colleagues, students, parents, faculty members, and friends. As you know, today we are going to conduct ninth and last session of career counseling. All the sessions, all 9 sessions are based on science education. So actually our aim was to provide career navigation to the talented students who are willing to pursue their career in science domain. Science means it could be physics, chemistry, it could be biological sciences, microbiology, biotechnology, biophysics, biochemistry, forensic sciences, or mathematical sciences, or maybe the technological domain. So as you know, here at GD Goenka University, our strategic theme elevates our academic excellence, international standing, and societal contributions. We have actually taken up several new initiatives for academic curriculum and co-curriculum curricular activities, entrepreneurship, research, and good governance. GD Goenka University aspired to transform the education system into the industry 4. As per the industry 4.0. So it is called as education 4.0 concept. So therefore, we have implemented curricula as of industry 4.0 with a strong emphasis on experiential learning activities that include practice school, collaborative and cooperative learning, such as a creative environment that will nurture the spirit of creativity, problem solving, innovation, and entrepreneurship among students, and promote hands-on and interdisciplinary learning activities, and instill job and skills among our students. We believe to nurture and construct ethical leaders who are not only skilled and knowledgeable, but also controlled in their emotions, possessing life skill required for leading their institution to professional success. Therefore, all the programs, all science-based programs are emphasizes flexibility and creativity, and it is structured to equip a student with the best of their skill, knowledge, and confidence to become a responsible international citizen and inspirational leader and out-of-box critical independent thinkers. So, dear colleagues, actually, I remember once Nelson Mandela, one of, say, most eminent personality ever born in 20th century. The Nelson Mandela told that education is the most powerful weapon we can use to change the world. The only way to build the sustainable and more just a sustainable world, to achieve the sustainable goals for now and the future, is through the education, through the science education. That's why our motive is to encourage young students into the science domain so that they can pursue their education in a science with their expertise. Country or a society will get benefited. So we always, education is a key to the global integrated framework of sustainable development goals. Education is at the heart of our efforts always, both to adopt, to change, and to transform the world within which we live. It is recognized as having one of the highest long-term returns on investment of all developmental goals. There is a need to rethink and broaden the notion of long life education, especially toward the science education. It should enable people to develop awareness of themselves and their environment. If education has to be future ready, then it is imperative that is a sustainable goal ready. The time for teaching the best practices would soon be the part of the history, because the future is for next practices. In the world of accelerated change, where the technologies are characterized by the quantum jumps. Learning ABCD means acquiring artificial intelligence, blockchain, cloud networking, and digital data transformation. That's precisely why we need a next practice for the next generation. This next practice will embrace the modern technologies to educate the future policy makers and contribute to the sustainable development goal. Dear colleagues, as I said always, the aim of this complete series was to give opportunity to interact with the eminent faculty members, professors who have made immense contribution to their domain in a science, also contributed for the society. It gives us, all of us, an opportunity to visit science, different science-based sessions, and the aim is to motivate, as I said, talented students to remain in a science stream that will help strengthen nation's science and technological base. So now this session here, the 9th session is dedicated to geology and environmental science, future opportunities and future prospects. And today our speaker of the session is Dr. Praveen Kumar. Dr. Praveen Kumar is an assistant professor in the School of Applied Physics and Applied Sciences at Giri Goenka University with the background in wastewater treatment. Prior to his current designation, Dr. Kumar served in academic positions such as program coordinator for environmental sciences master programs at Amity University. And Dr. Kumar holds a PhD from Indian Institute of Technology, Roorkee. His research interests include water pollution control with the sustainable technology, nanotechnology, constructed wetlands, and waste management. He has more than 8 years of teaching and research experience in the field of earth sciences and environmental sciences. Dr. Kumar has conferred several awards, and that includes recently he received a Young Scientist Award during the World Environmental Summit at Vigyan Bhavan, New Delhi. Dr. Kumar will focus in this session on the need of environmental sciences and technology with the reference to the global environmental challenges and understanding various processes of the earth. As I mentioned in my talk, that United Nations is also very much aware about the sustainable development, especially based on the environmental science, geology, wildlife, and so on. So this session will also focus on applications of geology, wildlife, forestry, and environmental sciences in different fields. It will also highlight various job prospects, which is the most important part of this session. Highlight various job prospects and available opportunities in the area of geology, environmental sciences, wildlife, and forestry. So our main aim to construct, all complete this series is to give you the complete idea through the eyes of experts who have a more than 8 year, 10 year, 15 year of experience, that what is the job possibility, how your career is going to sign up, how your job prospect in this field looks like, which kind of the salary people get after graduating, post-graduating, or after having a doctorate, and what could be the future prospect. So all this is actually in the heart of all this series. So here as well, Dr. Kumar will focus on all this aspect, besides some understanding about the subject. So I again welcome all the attendees who are here, who have been, actually most of you have been the witness of all our previous 8 sessions. We much appreciate your interest to join these sessions. And now I invite Dr. Praveen Kumar to deliver this talk. However, prior to the talk, I would like to request all the learned attendees, members, to unmute your mic and also off your camera so that speaker Dr. Kumar can complete the session very carefully and peacefully, smoothly. After the session, we will open, say, a house for the discussion. So if you have any question, as I mentioned earlier, I may request you to drop down your question in the chat box. We have a team of dedicated faculty members. They will note it down your question, and at the end of the session, they will ask a question on your behalf either, or they will allow you to unmute your mic and ask directly your question to the resource person. Also, we have, besides resource person, we have some various other experts, and they will also try to answer your queries. I'm sure we will try our level best to satisfy you to the best of ability with precision and correctness of the knowledge. So once again, thank you so much, all the attendees, members, students, parents, faculty members. And again, I invite Dr. Praveen Kumar to start the session. Thank you. So Dr. Praveen Kumar, please come.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, please.
Okay. Good evening and thank you very much, sir, for such a nice introduction. And good evening, everyone. And I welcome you all in the 9th session of the Science and Technology Career Prospects on Geology and Environmental Science, Opportunities and Future Prospects, being organized by the School of Basic and Applied Sciences, GD Goenka University. I am going to talk about geology and environmental science, and what are the different branches in which these experts work, what are the eminent persons who have contributed a lot in these areas, and what are the job responsibilities of an environment or geologist expert, and the required skills, and also what are the career paths to become an expert in these areas, and also what are the job opportunities available in the industry, in the government sector, private sector, and what are the educational institutions available and scope. And finally, I will also take you through the GD Goenka University, what we do here as part of teaching and learning. So first, I will talk about the geology, opportunities and future prospects. So as you can see here, for geology, you need to go into the field. Field component, field study is very important part of geological studies. So similarly here at GD Goenka, we are having this part, field studies, as an integral part of our curriculum. So what is geology? You may think that it is the study of rocks only. No, it is more than that. Geology is the scientific study of the earth, the materials of which earth is made up of, the different processes and products which are there as part of the earth. It is an interdisciplinary science. It is closely related with the fields of physics, chemistry, mathematics, biology, environmental science. Okay, so the people from different backgrounds, they are working and contributing here as experts in different areas. Okay, so if you are having some queries in your mind, if you are interested to visit in the natural areas, and if you find yourself curious about the natural processes, natural disasters, how to manage them, then this is the right career path for you to choose geology and environmental sciences. So these are the different branches of geology in which the geologists, they get expertise and work, like physical geology, where they study about the natural processes of earth which modify the earth's landforms, like the weathering processes, physical, chemical, biological weathering, and soil erosion, etc. They study about minerals in mineralogy, and different types of rocks in petrology, like sedimentary rocks, metamorphic rocks, igneous rocks, why they are important, where they are used, what is their role in the geology or evolution of the earth. In paleontology, they study about the fossil records, and through this they can come to know about the past geological developments in the geological history of earth, as well as they know about the fossils, fuels. Geomorphology, they study about the morphological surface features of the earth, landforms, plains, mountains, rivers, all these things, they are studied under geomorphology. Stratigraphy and historical geology. Here they study the different rock types in relation to their depositional features, how they have formed in the past, and with respect to their age. So this gives them very important information about the past geological event or structural features, what forces have worked in the past. In structural geology, it is very important field of study, particularly the engineering geologists work in it. They study the different structures like the faults, folds, okay, and fractures. Uh, Whenever we plan any civil engineering project, any structure, the site should be stable. So these geological structures should not be there. Otherwise, your structure may be severely affected, either during the project or afterwards, and it can lead to the serious loss of life and property. So their role of a geologist is very important in this aspect. Geologists, they also study volcanoes, they study the availability, quality, and protection of water resources also. They study various economically important minerals in the earth, their exploration and engineering aspect as well. Environmental geologists, they study the relation of human with the environment and how they are interacting and affecting each other. And there are also seismologists which study the earthquakes, why earthquakes occur, what are the factors responsible, how to predict them. So some work is there, so they are very much interested in doing this. Engineering geology, as stated earlier, it is very important in civil engineering works to ensure the safety of the project and people. In mining geology, they study about the engineering geological concepts in the mining industry. And the geophysicists, they study about the physics of the geological processes. Okay, so rock mechanics, they study about the different physical and chemical properties of rocks, and which are important in the civil engineering. Like rocks, they are also a source of construction material. They are also a source of like site. Okay, so these rocks may be of different types. Some may be permeable to water, some may not be. Some may be very strong in mechanical strength. So these properties are very important whenever we plan any project. In geochemistry, we study about different kind of elements and compounds which make the earth. Okay, so how, what is their distribution, how they are a part of the geological processes there, we study about it. So it is a vast field, and there is huge scope exist. People are working in these different areas from different backgrounds as geologists. These are some eminent geologists which have contributed a lot in this area. So first one is Louis Agassiz. He is well known for his significant work in ice ages and glaciers. Next one is Edward Drinker Cope. He is a pioneer dinosaur paleontologist. So he has done significant work in this area. And Charles Darwin, he is well known to us. Uh, he was a naturalist, geologist, and a biologist. And he is best known for his contribution to science of evolution. This is well known to us. He wrote the book Origin of Species, and this is a very important contribution. Next is James Hutton. He is known as father of modern geology. Actually, his work played a key role in establishing geology as a modern science. So this is also a very important contribution. And next is Alfred Wegener. Uh, he was a geophysicist and meteorologist, and actually he is remembered for his significant contribution as theory for continental drift. Initially, this theory was not accepted. There were objections, but later on, people came to know further details, and this work was well noticed and recognized. Next is Charles Richter. I think this from the name Richter, you may be understanding it. He developed the Richter scale. He gave this scale, and we use this scale for the measurement of earthquake, which is a very important component of earthquake study. So likewise, there are many geologists. Okay, many people from India also, they are working in this area, contributing a lot continuously. So it is a very good area to work. What are the job responsibilities of a geologist? Geologists are scientists who study the structure and dynamics of the earth. What are the different types of rocks? What are the structural features? Are there faults present? What is the pattern of their formation, what forces are modifying the earth, okay, plate tectonics, tectonic movement, okay, everything they study. They also study the natural resources. As stated earlier, they come from wide different areas: physics, chemistry, geology, biology, environmental science, and uh, so they also study about the human interaction with the earth resources, and the discovery of mineral resources is also a very important part of their work. How do they do this? They conduct intensive field studies. They need to go in the field, collect samples, analyze those samples in the laboratories, and based on the data, they make the geological maps, and they can tell you the presence of the mineral deposits. And many of the geologists, they are also working in the area of environmental protection and climate change. And many of the people, they are also work in the disasters. They understand why they occur and their management. And the last one, as stated earlier, it is related to the safety and suitability of a site for the engineering project. So engineering geologist role is very important here. uh, if you are planning any such project, tunnel, road, bridge, you need to take help from the geologist, engineering geologist. He will do the field studies and then will let you know what type of rocks are there, so what type of design should be suitable for this place, so that you have the less chances of failure of your project, and it will be more economical and safe. Before moving further, I need to play a very short video, just a minute video. It will tell you what is the importance of what is geology actually, what the people do.
To start us off with, the word geology comes from the Greek for geo, meaning earth, and ology, meaning the study of. Geology involves studying the materials that make up the earth, the features, for example, and the structures that are found on earth, as well as the processes that shape them. Geology can also refer to the solid features of any celestial body, celestial bodies being asteroids, planets, or comets. Geology also studies the history of all life that's ever lived or is still living on our earth today. Studying how life on our planet has changed over time is an important part of geology. Geology can be incredibly varied, and people study all sorts of different things. For example, natural hazards like volcanoes and earthquakes. The inside of the earth is made from a core, a mantle, and the overlying crust. There's also fossils, resources, including oil and gas exploration, and also looking for precious metals. And finally, for space exploration, for example, studying Mars or the moon. So that was geology in a minute. Stay tuned to see what geology means.
So I think this presentation may have make you more familiarized with the subject, what we do in the geology. Okay, so moving further. Okay, moving further. Okay, these are the skills which are required to be a good geologist. Yes, you should be good in analytical skills, good communication skills, and also there should be a good understanding of engineering principles. And yes, passion is very important. You should be very much interested in this area to work. And many techniques, remote sensing, GIS, mapping techniques, field techniques, you should know. And you should be flexible and versatile in terms of working. Sometimes you may need to work in odd hours also. You may need to visit to different places, field studies, you may need to do collect samples. Enthusiasm, patience, and determination, they are also very important. And ability to work as a team is also very important, because you may need to work with people from different backgrounds. And yes, good physical strength is very much important here. And how to become a geologist? What are the courses available? At undergraduate level, you can have BSc program or BTech also. And for these, the qualification is 10 plus 2 in science stream with physics, chemistry, mathematics, or biology. So medical, non-medical fields, they can come here. And BSc pass honors courses, they are available there in different universities, but not it is available in very few universities. So that is the unique thing. So uh, is, there is huge demand of the people in this area. Okay, so uh, after UG degree also people get job, and good good salary they get at the entry level. But if you want a better salary and more growth, you need to go for higher studies. So higher studies, you can do MSc, MTech in the geology or earth sciences, and further you can go for PhD after qualifying the NET examination, GATE. And the people who complete PhD, they can work as research associate or postdoc fellow in different research institutions in India and abroad. This is also a very good opportunity to work as an independent research scholar. Okay, so these are the different opportunities and job titles in the industry, in the government sector, private sector. You can work in the schools and universities as teachers and professors. You can work for consultancies working in the area of environment and exploration of the field. You can work civil engineering firms. You can work in research laboratories, mining industries, water companies, local authorities. You can sit in the UPSC examination for geologists. Large number of vacancies they are advertised annually. You can, okay, so there are lot huge scope exist here in this area. These are the job titles. You can become geochemist, marine geologist, geophysicist, etc. So it depends on you in which field you are interested. You can make your career. Okay, next we will I am moving to the environmental science, opportunities and future prospects. So what is environmental science? So before it, we need to know what is environment. Anything around us is environment. It may be our family members, plants, animals, air, water, soil, anything living, non-living surrounding us is our environment. We are in regular interaction with our environment, isn't it? Since birth till death, we are an integral part and we are in continuous interaction with our environment, with its components. We cannot separate ourselves from our environment. We are so much dependent on the nature that uh, we get many resources, services from it. So if the quality of your environment is good, then your health will also be good, isn't it? Because so many harmful activities are affecting environment, so that is having negative impacts on us. Okay, that we will take later. So these are the four spheres of environment. Hydrosphere, that is water. Geosphere means the soil part, rocks, and atmosphere means the gaseous envelope around the earth. And biosphere is the living world where life exists. We are a part of biosphere, and we are interacting with different animals, plants, and also with the different components. So the one important thing here is, if you disturb any of the sphere, all other spheres are also disturbed. Like if you pollute the air, emit the greenhouse gas carbon dioxide and methanes, they produce global warming. Global warming cause melting of glaciers. Melting of glaciers result in rise in the sea level, and then that submerge the coastal fertile land. And sometimes the people in the coastal areas, they may also need to be shifted to other places. So all this made the change in the atmosphere, and it affected hydrosphere also, geosphere also, and biosphere. So we need to be very careful with our activities. This is a interdisciplinary science, and it requires knowledge input from different branches of science: social science, engineering, management, economics, geology. So people from different areas, they are working here. Forestry, wildlife, they are all part there. So these are the different branches of environmental science. In environmental studies, we study about the human interaction with the environment. In environmental engineering, we study about the uh, uh, protection of environment for good human health and for better environmental quality. In atmospheric science, we study about the atmospheric processes and dynamics like cloud formation, wind movement, etc. In ecology, we study about the interaction of living organisms with their environment. Okay, so there are these different fields, and wildlife, forestry, they are also a part of the environmental science, and their huge scope exists in all these areas. These are the eminent environmentalists from India. So when you think about the Chipko movement, you may think the name of only Sundarlal Bahuguna, but the Gora Devi also, she has been very much active there. She started this movement, and later on Sundarlal Bahuguna joined that movement. So you can find how the women also have been working in this area significantly, how much aware they are. to protect their environment. Sunita Narayan, she is the Director General of Center for Science and Environment, which is a non-government organization in Delhi. She is also editor of Down to Earth annual magazine. So she is also contributing a lot. Menka Gandhi is a well-known name to us as animal rights activist. And Mr. Rajendra Singh, he is known as Waterman of India for his significant contribution in the conservation of water in different states of India. MC Mehta is known as Green Lawyer. He has fought various cases in the area of environment. Salim Ali is known as Birdman of India. And due to his important contribution in the area of ornithology, birds conservation, he has been associated with the Bombay Mineral History Society. And Vandana Sivasi is a well-known environmentalist and contributing in the area of biodiversity conservation, sustainable farming. Okay, so we need to think, we need to look at this slide very carefully. These are the different problems, global environmental problems, which we are facing today. And these problems, they are said to become more severe and extreme in the near future, to affect more people, more life, more environmental problems they can create. Pollution, waste management, natural disasters, human-made disasters, loss of biodiversity, climate change, the severe cyclones, plastic pollution, COVID-19, everything you can relate here, the environment domain. So here people from different areas, they are working, and huge scope exists here. So you should be just, if you have an internal will and interest in these areas, you become excited and concerned when you see that bad air quality there, what will happen, I should do something. And so I need to do something for the wild animals. So your surroundings, you should be, so then it is the right choice for you. You should join these programs as a career path. What an environmental scientist do? They collect different samples, air, water, soil, and also many other materials, analyze them, and based on the analysis, they give guidance to the public, government organizations, and many business houses as well. So this is very important role. Let me again play one very short video, just a minute video, to let you know what is the role of an environmental scientist. This is a very interesting video you will find.
Environmental scientists and specialists use their knowledge of the natural sciences to protect the environment and human health. They develop strategies to clean up polluted areas, advise policymakers, and work with industry to reduce waste or hazards. Environmental scientists gather and analyze data to shed light on important questions, including how to prevent or handle environmental problems, then use their findings to inform the public, private industry, government officials, and others about environmental hazards. Day-to-day tasks can vary a lot among these specialists. Climate change analysts study the effects of changing climatic conditions on ecosystems. Environmental health specialists study how environmental factors affect community and individual human health. Environmental restoration planners determine how to clean up polluted sites and assess costs. And industrial ecologists work with industry to develop sustainable that limit adverse impacts on the environment. Generally work full-time in an office or laboratory. Some head to the field to check out environmental conditions and gather samples of air, soil, water, or food. Most entry-level positions require a bachelor's degree in a natural science or related field, but a master's degree is often needed for advancement. Whether teaching or practicing methods to keep our air, water, and land clean and free of health risks, the work of environmental scientists hits home.
So, learners, you have seen, I think, are much better understood. I may need to use less words to explain further. Okay, let me come to the slide. So this is already understood. You are better to have understood through that video. So these are the skills required: active learner, good communicator, critical thinker, good decision maker, because you may be becoming a manager, environmental manager, for example. So you need to take decisions regarding the what is going on to an environment to improve the conditions of the of that facility. So you should be good in analytical skills as well. Like may need to analyze the different samples, air, water, soil, or you should at least have knowledge of that, because the data you need to study and take decisions. Discipline is very important in all areas of study, and teamwork as well here also very important. So how to become a environment professional? At UG level, you have the BSc program. This BSc you can do in environmental science or in life science also, with natural sciences or physical sciences, in forestry, geology. From in all these areas you can work to make your career in an environmental science further. There is also BTech available, environmental engineering, and the basic eligibility is 10 plus 2 in science stream with physics, chemistry, mathematics, or biology. And at UG level, after UG level also, career opportunities are there. Sometimes people just do a diploma, like in environmental health and safety, environment impact assessment, environmental management. These professionals in these areas, they are in high demand in the market, in industrial sector. So they just got a good job there at a starting level. And if they want further growth, they can go for MSc, MTech, and they can qualify the NET GATE examinations, which are conducted from different agencies in this area. UGC CSIR, UGC also conducts separately. Agricultural Scientist Recruitment Board, it also conduct NET as well as create scientist posts in this area. Indian Council of Medical Research. So huge such exams they are there, and people can sit in these, and then they can join the PhD program with the fellowship of JRF, Junior Research Fellowship. Good amount of money is being given to the researchers nowadays by the government. And here also they can go further for research associate or postdoc positions, and they can also sit in the UPSC examinations for different positions. And these are the opportunities and job titles in the environment, forestry, and wildlife area. They can join different organizations. They can work as environmental scientist, engineer, health and safety officer. Health and safety officers, they are in huge demand in the market. They can get huge amount of money, like as well as other job titles also, they get good amount of money. People are working as journalists, environmental economists, environmental managers, waste managers, etc. in Ministry of Environment and Forest, urban planning, in many NGOs, pollution control boards. Each state is having a state pollution control board. At central level, we have CPCB. There also scientists are required. Many oil and natural gas organizations. So these are the different opportunities available. These are a few which I have listed. There are many more. So these are the institutes which offer UG, PG, and PhD programs in the areas of geology, environment, forestry, wildlife, and but these are very few. Okay, as per the demand of the industry market. So there is huge scope. If we talk about the private sector, in there also very few organizations are there. GD Goenka University is one of them, which is giving quality education in this area. And salary package in these areas, it is very good actually. If we talk about the bachelor level, after UG degree, you can get a salary of around 3 to 4 lakh starting salary. Okay, and after, if you go do the MSc, MTech, and or PhD, after that you can get a salary of around 6 to 8 lakh per annum. It is starting average salary, and after 5 years you may reach to around 10 lakh, 5-10 years. And so you can be at any position. You may become a head of the research and development unit. You may become HOD of any department, or any other position, director level you can reach. It depends on the size of organization, your skills which you can improve, sector, location, etc. So opportunities are limitless. It depends on you, what you want to become and in which area you want to work. These are the programs which we offer at GD University in geology, environmental science, forestry, wildlife. So we have BSc pass courses in geology in combination with physics, math, chemistry, and botany and zoology. These are very unique courses. This type of BSc pass course you may find difficulty in different organizations. And the PG diploma we also offer in environment, health and safety. It can ensure you direct job in the market after UG degree. This is very important, very highly demand in the market. Then, okay, PhD program also we offer. So why choose these courses at GD Goenka University? We have a industry tailored course curriculum. So we equip our students, prepare them just job ready in the market. We give them extensive laboratory experimental exposure. Rigorous field studies is important part here of their curriculum. In each semester, they are taken with the faculty experts in the field for study. And yes, computer soft skills are also provided. And the summer internship, they are sent to different eminent institutions, IIT, JNU, IIRS, Remote Indian Institute of Remote Sensing. These are some of them. And in the last semester, major project is also there, which give them a research-based learning, and also we faculties guide them for publication. And we always motivate our students to participate in conferences, seminars, workshop for overall development. Now I will take you through the tour of the GD Goenka University. It will take merely 5 to 10 minutes. And here you will come to know what we are doing regarding the teaching and learning and research at GD Goenka University for the students. You can see the lush green campus of GD Goenka University. It is a sustainable campus, and we are also using solar power. And why do GD Goenka University? We are providing world-class education, and we have world-class infrastructure facilities available. And GD Goenka University has also received different awards and rankings. And we also provide scholarships to the deserving students, as well as the students which are economically backward. So this is also a very important opportunity. We are also having collaborations, academic and research, in different academic and research institutions out of India, like in USA, Australia, Netherlands, France, UK, China, etc. So our students, they can go there and they can study, for example, for a semester there, or they can do their internships there. So they get a chance to work there in the laboratories. They get exposure and also further development in their studies. These are the different schools at GD Goenka University. And we are a part of the School of Basic and Applied Sciences. And vision and mission is to give quality education, student-centric education with experiential learning. And here you are able to see our Honorable Dean Sir, Professor Ram Kishan Thakur. He is a prominent academician, well-known academician and scientist, and he is the leader of our school. He is always there to motivate our students, as well as for faculties. He is there always, and the main aim is to give quality education and to give better exposure to the students. Faculties at GD Goenka University in the School of SOVAS, they are come from different eminent institutions. These are the faculties of Department of Physics. This is headed by the Dr. Sasikant Gupta. Professor Thakur, Dean SOVAS, also come from the physics background. And these are the different research areas in which the faculties of physics are working. And this is the Department of Chemistry and Environmental Science. And we come from different eminent institutions, IIT, like IIT Kanpur, Roorkee, and University of Rajasthan, Birla Institute of Technology. Okay, so these are the research areas: geochemistry, water purification, sustainable forestry, medicinal chemistry, etc. These are the faculties of Department of Mathematics. Dr. Naresh Sharma is the head of the department. Dr. Deepika Garg, Dr. Renu Chaudhary, Dr. Ruchi, and Mr. Rajbir Singh, Dr. Ruchi Pawar. Research interests, these are the research interests in which mathematics people are working: neural network, computation modeling, etc. This is the Department of Biological Sciences. It is headed by the Dr. Priyanka Tyagi and Dr. Sasank Kamble, Dr. Ronak Dhankar. These are also there. And Dr. Priyanka Tyagi, she has done her PhD from DRDO, and she belongs to Merit University also. So these are the research areas: drug resistance, drug delivery, cancer therapy, aquatic ecology, environmental biotechnology. These are the faculties of Department of Forensic Science. Dr. Niharika is the faculty in charge, and Miss Ruby Kumari, Mala Bharti, Baljit Yadav, Priya Sharma, they are also there. And these are the research areas of forensic science faculties: forensic toxicology, wildlife forensics, So they are working in very interesting areas. We have more than 30 PhD scholars with us, which are working in the different areas of biology, earth sciences, physics, chemistry, math. We are also having some research funded projects from the government agencies. You can see these are the three projects which are running. We have, as stated earlier, world-class infrastructure laboratory facilities to give exposure to the students. And here you can see the undergraduate programs available. We have programs in nearly all domains: chemistry, physics, mathematics, forensic science, microbiology, biochemistry, biotechnology, as well as unique BSc pass courses in physics, chemistry, mathematics, also in zoology, botany, geology, physics, chemistry, zoology, physics, mathematics, computer science. So vast different courses are there for the students as per the need of the market, demand of the sector. These are the postgraduate courses in chemistry, physics, mathematics, forensic science, microbiology, biochemistry, biotechnology, data science and scientific computing, geology, wildlife, forestry, biophysics, environmental science and management. And also we have the PhD program, which is in full-time, part-time, both mode it is provided. And these are the diploma programs which we are running. As stated earlier, they are the diploma which can give you, ensure you good job opportunity in the market after UG degree or master's degree as well. Anyone can do this. And this is a very important slide. And this is a very important philosophy which we follow to address the student problems. If any student is having any problem, he is provided a faculty mentor. So he or she can approach to the faculty mentor. Faculty mentor is always there to help the student in any problem, any issue regarding university or outside. And if it is not solved, then there is a head of the department and then dean. At dean level, it is solved. So effective all type of care we take here so that our students remain comfortable and study in the good, healthy environment. We have a sim login software in which the all type of information, classes, timetable, attendance, everything is available to students here on the real time. And experiential learning is very important as part of study at GD Goenka University. We take our students to different educational trips in laboratories, industries. We conduct faculty development programs, student development programs, workshops, symposium, distinguished lectures, all etc. for our students. So in the coming slides, you will see these activities. And there is given this talk by NASA scientist, Dr. Kumar Krishnan, on 19th, 20th August. You can see Dr. Kumar interacting with the faculties and students. This is distinguished lecture by the Professor P.B. Sharma. He is the founder, Vice Chancellor of Rajiv Gandhi Technical University, Madhya Pradesh. And this is the distinguished Director, National Physical Laboratory. So we invite such eminent persons, scientists, for our students to share and interact their knowledge and to motivate them to further study. And so this is a very important aspect of study here. Expert lecture by Professor Ram Kumar from Central University of South Bihar. And we also organize many different programs, like bio-entrepreneurship program was also organized for the students. Student development program on Charles Darwin's Day, national workshop on strengthening criminal justice system using forensic tools, visit to National Physical Laboratory, industrial visit to Inter-University Accelerator Center, New Delhi, visit to Indian Institute of Technology, Delhi, educational trip to Acharya Narendra College, University of Delhi, visit to AIMS, visit to Kimia Biosciences Industry, visit to Anvekshana Science and Engineering Fair 2020. And this is very important part you are seeing here, and very much important in case of the study of the science of environment and geology, forestry, wildlife. This is very important part of the curriculum. In each semester, students, they go to the natural areas, to any water body nearby, or to the areas like to the Dehradun or many other areas to study the rock formations, ground features, geology of the area, what is the biodiversity. So with the field experts. So this is very important part of experiential learning and very important for these programs. So we do this for our students. And even during lockdown period, we have organized a national online conference 2020. There were around 1,000 participants. Many students got prizes also there. International conference on sustainable cities and communities was also organized, where in collaboration with the State Arizona University, USA. And we also organized World Environment Summit 2020 in collaboration with Environment and Social Development Association Delhi. And I also got a prize in it. And this is the participation of our student in the Global Sustainability Conference at Vigyan Bhavan, Delhi. In this event, our Dean Sir, Professor Ramkrishna Thakur, received a Green Tech Asia Award. And we also organize the activities related to the environmental conservation, tree plantation, you can see here. These are the best practices which we follow. We also connect with the nearby schools to conduct different workshop, career counseling events, awareness programs. We do teaching program for children in rural areas, blood donation camps, organize different lectures for them. We also invite school students here at our campus to visit laboratories. Okay, so you can see here all of these activities. Outreach. These are the outreach programs. Our eminent faculties reach to the students and conduct sessions for them for awareness in different areas, also for career counseling. Okay, so you can see here the students visiting our laboratory and doing some practical exercises. Professor Thakur interacting with the students. So when it is the visit of students to our campus. Okay, so you can see here deans are interacting with the students. We conducted Inspire DST camp from 6th to 10th of January, in which 125 students participated. And we also conduct training and placement. We ensure placement for our students on campus. These are some of the organizations where our students have been placed. These are the last year batch students which have been placed. Okay, so for further information and you can connect with us on our website or Facebook page or Instagram page. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Praveen Kumar, for such a nice and wonderful, thought-provoking talk. And I think some of our audience has a student have a very genius question. So, Dr. Kamble, can you listen
Yes, sir.
me? Am I audible?
Yes. I can hear you. Yeah,
so,
yes.
could you please ask one after another question?
Yes.
Of a student, starting from the beginning.
Yes, sir. So the first question is by Vanshika Joshi, and her question is that in the field of biology, what are the options to become a geologist?
Okay. So a student with a undergraduate degree with biology can do a master's degree in geology. Okay. So there is no limitation. She can come in this area and explore. There is huge scope.
Okay. The second question is by Prabhakar Chetri. According to you, which part of geology is more thriving and demanding in India?
If I say regarding the salary aspect, the mineral exploration geologists are, I think, in more demand, as well as engineering geologists. There are people from there are diverse areas actually, and from many areas people are in high demand. In petroleum industries, in mining industries as well, in civil engineering, there are required engineering geologists. These people are in high demand in the industry.
Okay, the next question is again by Prabhakar, and his question is that in GD Goenka University, does the placements happen from abroad also, and any other Indian colleges or universities in the field of geology?
Yes, we help always our students to get placed in India also, and also for abroad. There are we help our students. Many okay, so students can get connected there while abroad also. Uh, Faculties can also guide them in this.
Okay, the next question is by Sudarshan Mondal, and he is currently pursuing BSc in zoology. And his question is that what are his job of research opportunities in the field of environmental science and engineering?
Okay, he is in the zoology area.
Zoology, BSc in zoology.
Okay, yes, 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 he can come and work there. Uh, there is huge scope exist. So, in terms of the research, in terms of the job prospects, also higher studies he can come. He is eligible. Any student of life science or natural sciences, he or she can opt the courses at master level in the geology, in environmental science, forestry, wildlife. It depends on their
Okay.
interest, and there is no difficulty to take. Okay, because these
Okay.
botany, zoology, chemistry, physics, math, they knowledge of these courses is very important in these areas.
Okay.
So
And the final question for the evening is that the answer? Should I read the next question?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. So the final question for the evening is by Rehan Faisal, and his question is that is there any program by which non-GD Goenka students can interact with GD Goenka research scholars or teachers for sharing the ideas or discussion on topic or problem solving? I think Dean sir can answer this question in a better way.
Yeah,
yes,
I think who asked? Mohammed Rehan
Rehan
Faisal?
Faisal. Yeah.
Okay, good. I think Rehan is a quite old student. I taught him 10, 12 years before. So, Rehan, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, yeah, there is always possibility to interact with the faculty members. Even for the outsider, we are providing extramural and extension services to the society as well. So, also organizing this kind of the seminar is to motivate talented student faculties and for scientific diffusion, for say improving our own understanding. So you have a possibility always to interact with the Goenka faculty members even without having affiliation of Goenka. So you can.
Okay, sir.
I,
But sir,
I can
is there any?
I can I can
Yeah.
add something. Sir, students
Yeah.
outside from Goenka, they can also connect in terms of research work if they are
Right.
interested. Always.
Right. Okay, good. Rehan, is it okay?
So, sir, my question is how what will be the procedure for this? So, if I want to connect with any research scholar and discussion on topic, so what will be the way for connect?
Well, the detail you can call me in the late evening and I can explain to you. So
Sure.
the best thing is you can just explore our homepage. In short, I can tell you, not only you, but everyone, whomsoever are available here. So you can just, I invite you to visit in person or browse our website to discover what the School of Basic and Applied Sciences are offering. We have highlighted our academic programs, faculty academic program, including PhD programs, the state-of-art research and lab facilities. And actually, we promote vibrant and dynamic environment and emphasize academic excellence, scholarship, innovation, and national, international scholarship, everything. So you can, whomsoever Rehan you think is suitable, all the faculties details are there. You can just write him an email, and I'm sure my faculties are really very much open for the scientific discussion. So they will revert you back. Okay,
Sure, sir. Thank you, sir.
that would be good. Thank you. Thank you, Rehan. And any more question, Abhinav Deswal? I can see some of my very old students whom I taught about 10 years before. They are also here in this seminar. So if you have any question, just, yeah, one question is Neil Ratan Singh. Mr. Neil Ratan Singh has a question. Why you are not introducing MTech course in geology? It will be more job oriented. Okay, good, Mr. Neil Ratan Singh. We have already introduced MSc in geology. So we just wanted to see the reaction. And you know, the basic sciences in principle opens more opportunity to the people working in this field. Here, you have opportunity to study science. That is actually the basic building blocks. So once you understand science, you have a quite easier way to adopt, understand the technology. So here, as from the name, basic and applied sciences. So in MSc geology, you will find the natural sciences behind geology, plus the technological part. So you have a dual, say benefit of studying this course, you know. And the science always opens a very wide spectrum of opportunities and future prospect. Believe me, you know, the best, the most, say, prestigious award in this planet is none other than the Nobel Prize. And always the Nobel Prize goes to the natural scientist. You know, many more engineers who later on realized that they did some kind of a mistake by studying technology, they switched back to basic science, and they studied basic science, maybe physics or a chemistry or a biological science, and then they received Nobel Prize. I can tell you some name. You may be knowing Iijima. Iijima is a Japanese, I can say now, physicist. Earlier, he was an electrical engineer. So he decided to study physics after his graduation. And he along with his student Ajayan, they discovered carbon nanotube in 1989. That was published in Nature and Science in a following year. And he is considered as a carbon nanotube, you know, quite well. One of most intriguing material of human civilization, known for everyone, you know. And same, lot of people you will find Nobel laureates. Earlier they have studied engineering, technology, but later they switched to science because science is quite interesting. Well, so any more question? And certainly,
No, sir, there are no more questions.
yeah, and certainly in the future we will have a possibility to introduce some technology-based program as well. So, Dr. Kamble, any more question? No question.
No, sir, no,
Okay.
sir, there are no more questions.
So, dear colleagues, so as we know, everything we love about civilization is a product of intelligence, product of human intelligence, you know. So amplifying our human intelligence with the science and technology, therefore artificial intelligence has the potential of helping civilization flourish like never before, as long as we manage to keep the technology beneficial. And therefore we have organized this series, so-called career counseling in a science education. And as you know, all the Western countries or Americans who have Japanese who have developed, it is due to the science and technology. The basic building block was a science. So they understood what the science is, what is the importance of science 100, 200 years before, and now rest are the history. Everyone know where the Europe, America, Japanese, and where we are. So we need to strengthen our science education. So, thank you so much for all your kind support throughout all these 9 sessions. You have attended all the sessions and also participated in various discussion to strengthen our understanding as well, and that also give us opportunity to improve our understanding and further scientific activity for the benefit of a student and society, everyone, because we are academicians, we are a scientist. So our main aim is nurture and create a future leader for this country who are working, studying in GD Goenka University. At the same time, our other motive is to provide extension service. Extension service means the service to the nearby schools, colleges, village, where we academician scientists can help the villagers, school student, teachers by organizing workshop, lectures, or interacting session for career counseling and so on, that will help them to identify what actually they could do. We believe generally that everyone has an immense potential to be a world leader or a most dynamic scientist, provided that teacher or a family members, parents can recognize their potential. And so that's why we have organized this series, complete 9 series, and this complete all the series is a without any financial charge. So we kept it free. It is our extension service to the nation, to our society, nearby society, to help them with our understanding. So, now in this context, further, we are going to organize STP series and online student development series, and here on the screen you can see there are 9 sessions. Again, it is basically for the student, UG, PG or a PhD student, even a high school 12th standard student can join. So all are organized, conducted by eminent personalities. Some are external experts, some are internal professors, experts. You have already gone through, some are new here. So we will start this session, as you can see, from 7th of August. So the first session is on motivation through the goal setting and team building, as if I'm right, because my eyesight is a little bit weaker. Anyway, so and it will be delivered by Mr. Rizwanuddin. Mr. Rizwanuddin is a PF Fund Commissioner working at the Ministry of Labour and Employment, Government of India. We have scheduled his STP quite long before. I think it was 18th of March, but due to this epidemic phase, we are not able to organize this. But Mr. Rizwanuddin is kind enough to conduct for us, for the benefit of students, on 7th of August. So 7th of August onward, we will start this student development program. Besides that, we have also decided to start eminent scientist series. So there we have invited most eminent scientists from the country, from the globe. So some are, I can say, some are professor from the IITs, or some are professor at IISc, Indian Institute of Science. Before joining the Indian Institute of Science, they have spent about 10 to 12 years at Harvard University. They were graduated from either Harvard or from Caltech, California Technology, Institute of California Technology. Both are world's leading institution, and their discussion, their webinar series will be conducted on 28th actually of August, right, Friday 28th of August. Prior to that, we will organize on 8th from IIT professor, and then following session will be on 11th of August by NASA, very leading, very famous NASA scientist, Dr. Krishnan Kumar, NASA for 54 years. So he will deliver his talk on the 11th of August. And then again, we have one international webinar session on 21st from a German professor. He is working at Taiwan. He's a very senior professor. And I hope you will enjoy all those sessions. It is needless to say that 2030 United Nations agenda for attaining sustainable development goal is the critical, very critical period of experimentation and learning for sustainable education, especially through the science education. So we are really very much hopeful. I thank you, all the attendees, all the faculty members, and organizers of this series, Dr. Sasank Kamble, and your team members like Dr. Renu Singh, Dr. Sonika Sethi, Dr. Praveen Kumar, Dr. Rajveer Singh, and almost all faculty members who have supported. I extend thanks to all, and also equally thank you to all the attendees, students, faculty members, learner members, and everyone who has joined this. So, in short, dear colleagues, the future at GD Goenka University is very much exciting. The school commitment to quality and excellence remains very strong. And I hope some of you will join us and we continue to advance the frontiers of excellence in research and education while strengthening our ties with both local scientific community and leading international scientific community across the world in order to transform the vision into reality. We will create actually the endless opportunities not only for the student but also for the teachers, researchers, neighbors in the coming years. I look forward to working with all of you, students, faculties, staff, alumni, and friends to lead our school to the new height in the century of science. I'm sure with all your support, we can make universities' effort globally competitive. I welcome you to join at any time by external member or internal member, does not matter. We all are here for the noble cause. And with this word, I again thank all the audience, students, visitors, parents, and my faculty members. Thank you so much indeed.
Thank you very much, sir.
Well, thank you. So God bless all of you. So now we can wind up the session.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can wind up.
Okay. Thank you. And see you on the next session.
Thank
you, sir.
And please keep going through our homepage. We have a say Facebook page, and we have also school homepage, and there we always keep updated the things, especially on a Facebook. It comes quite faster. So please check our Facebook page, and you will get a relevant information always. Thank you so much to everyone.
Thank you, sir.